Hey, Salvador Briggman here. Welcome back to the Crowdfunding Demystified YouTube channel. On this channel, we talk about crowdfunding, raising money from the crowd. And specifically today, I want to talk a little bit about Black Lives Matter and how you can actually use this tool in order to raise money for a cause that you care about. So I don't want to, talk about anything political on this video, but I want to at least share with you a practical way that you can actually raise money for causes that you care about, and that is using GoFundMe. So I have some great tutorials out there when it comes to step-by-step how to start a GoFundMe campaign. And you can literally do this. There's zero cost to you. There are zero platform fees. It is very easy to get started. So you can do this to raise money for something related to Black Lives Matter. You can do this to raise money for helping some of the businesses maybe that were destroyed in lootings and those types of things, if you care about that. For really any cause under the sun that you care about, you can use this tool. Now, the reason why I'm putting out this video is that I have a lot of tactics and techniques that I would love to share with you when it comes to how to raise more money. So like, obviously you can just launch a campaign. There is a strategy behind getting money, sharing on social media, making sure it goes viral, how to use Instagram correctly, like all those kinds of things. But there's also some really neat tricks in order to raise even more money than you thought was possible. If you've been browsing on GoFundMe, this website, you will see many of these campaigns that are being successful, that are raising thousands of dollars. And rather than just, I think, protesting, which I think is great, or rather than just posting on social media, why not put your money where your mouth is and enable other people out there to raise money for a cause? Now, the one simple thing that I want to share here is that if you have friends or you have family members or you have other people that are as bought into this cause as you, whatever that cause is, what you can do using GoFundMe is you can create an organized team where you have one campaign, let's just say that you're trying to raise money for this reason, and you have a bunch of other teammates that join the campaign. Each teammate can individually raise money, and GoFundMe will display the amount of money that they've raised for this cause. So they can then send this link to their friends, their family, and when their family goes and pledges to the campaign or donates, then it will register and it will show this team member brought this amount, this other team member brought this amount. And I think it's a really effective and unique way, practical way to coalesce a team of people around something. So rather than just everyone being disorganized and doing their own campaigns and like you trying to organize something, instead you can have this all done for you with the functionality of GoFundMe. And in that way, not only are you able to organize them more effectively, but also they're contributing towards the overall funding amount. So if you personally can raise, let's just say $5,000, and you have a bunch of people together with you, you can raise a heck lot more of that. If you have 10 people there, you can easily raise $50,000, right? So it's really about being smart and using this as a way to organize your efforts. Another interesting thing that you can do when it comes to GoFundMe is to not only just say, hey, go and share this link when it comes to your campaign, go and post on Facebook, go and post on Instagram. There is a way that you can actually create templates for other people that are out there, so that when they're sending an email or they're posting on Facebook, rather than giving them the idea of like, just do this and like share it and come up with your own things, you can create a template that you can then customize for those people. So they can just fill in their name or they can fill in some information and they can then post that on Facebook. So you'd want to do this, just creating basically a Google Docs. If you want to, you can use a Google Chrome template called Gorgias, which I'll link up down below. And that allows you to create a template that then other people can use. They can paste into their emails very easily. There are a lot of different hacks, if you will, when it comes to doing one of these projects. But the first thing that you should know, I think, is that this information is all out there. I have a lot of great videos. I can link to them down below that are free for you to use when it comes to raising more money on GoFundMe, some hacks and ways to do that, some applications that you can use in order to speed up the process, and also how to introduce this to your friends and family members. So I hope that you enjoy this. In addition, I want to leave you with one final thing, and that is that when we look at the science of why people give money online, it is a science. They've done studies, one in particular that I've talked about on this channel before, and they looked at the actual fMRI scans in someone's head when someone actually gives money. What are the reasons? What are the emotions that they're feeling? And they did things like measuring hormone levels. They did things like looking at the overall blood flow using fMRI, etc. So they nailed this down, and they did multiple studies and repeated these findings. And once they discovered this, they were actually able to predict, based on the emotions someone was feeling, whether or not they would give money. And they could do this at an astoundingly successful rate. You know, not 100% of the time, but much more successful than if it was just by random chance. And I have that, maybe I'll link up that video also down below. There's a lot of videos. But what they found is that people give money, number one, when they feel empathy. And the way they feel empathy is through storytelling. The way they feel empathy is when you tell a story that allows them to put themselves in that person's position, right? So the more that you can tell a story with your marketing efforts, with your campaign outreach, with your actual campaign page, the more other people are going to be able to put themselves in your shoes or put themselves in the shoes of whoever you're trying to help and be like, that sucks. You know, that's the only way that we can share experiences as human beings. You can't tell, use telekinesis or use telepathy, right? To communicate the emotions you're feeling. Sometimes people will vibe off of your facial expressions, but the proven way to get someone to actually feel what you're feeling is to tell them a story. And this is why so many of the nonprofits out there, you see television commercials, will tell stories in them. The second thing that you should know is that people tend to give money when they sense that that other person is in distress. So when they feel empathy towards a family member, or they feel empathy towards a stranger as a result of being told a story, and that person is in distress, they start to feel distressed. If you don't believe that, just think about movies that you've watched before. You're sitting in a dark room with a bunch of other strangers. You're all watching this television screen and you're all starting to feel your blood pumping. You're starting to feel your heart rate going up and down. You're crying. Why is it that you're feeling real emotions when you know the movie is fake? When you know you're looking at a screen, you're not looking at real people, and yet you feel real emotions. Why is that? It's because of this effect, which is really freaking cool. So when someone feels like this person that they're empathizing with via a story is under distress, and you have to really stress that in your campaign, they will then, it's almost like a call to arms. Like they are then going to rally around you to help that individual. And that's why a lot of the times we see these GoFundMe campaigns, strangers starting to donate to them. So it's hitting empathy and it's hitting a feeling of distress. Finally, the last thing that you can do to stand head and shoulders above other projects that are out there is to tie the amount of money that's being given to something tangible. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, if you just say, hey, can you give 25 bucks and it will help this cause? It's a very abstract concept. It's very in your head. It's going to help a cause. It's not very tangible. But if you say giving $25 is going to help feed this family of 4 individuals in a developing country for a month, you're like, wow, like this 25 bucks is actually going to feed all these people for 1 month. It makes it concrete and it makes it tangible. It's not abstract, it's concrete, right? A lot of nonprofits will do this when saying your gift of $15 a month will do this, right? Or your $25 donation will enable this person to have this. The more concrete you can make it sound, like if you give $100, this is what it will do. If you give $25, this is what it will do. The more you can put your campaign in that kind of verbiage or that kind of language, the better people are going to want to support it, and because they understand what their money is going to go towards. So these are just a few simple hacks. There's so many out there. I have a lot of great resources. If you want to spend some time reading, I have a great book, The Crowdfunding Personal Expenses, which is available on Audible, paperback version, Amazon, etc. I also have a free course on GoFundMe that I can link up down below. But I have a lot of great videos out there for free on YouTube. I invite you to dive in because this is an unparalleled time where you can use this fundraising mechanism of crowdfunding and GoFundMe to raise a lot of money for your cause and do a lot of good things for the world.